The Jimmy represents the Jimmy.
Yeah. I like that, man.
So how we doing, man?
I'm going to put that shit on a shirt.
Yeah, we should.
Doing good, man.
Good.
Doing good.
Welcome back to another episode of Mostly Peaceful. I'm Rob.
I'm the Jimmy.
The Jimmy.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things going on.
There's a lot going on.
Like a lot.
Want something over here? You gonna wait?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I'm not going to wait.
All
I'm not
right.
going to wait on this.
No.
I guess we start with Elon Musk back in the news. Picked a WEF
Yep.
chairperson for his CEO. What do you think about that, Jimmy?
I'm fucking bugged out about it, to be quite honest, bro.
Okay.
Like, I don't understand why he would risk that, man. I do not understand why he would risk that. I'm so torn. Like, I've always been an Elon Musk fan in the shit he does, right? But at the same time, I see this type of move. You good?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm listening to you.
Mhm.
And my response to that is he's a globalist.
He is.
Like who?
Well,
were we supposed to expect something else?
right. That's where I think, you know, I
forgot the ashtray.
Like, I see what he does with SpaceX and
Keep talking, Jimmy.
oh, fuck my life. All right, go for it. It's under the television set in the drawer. Cupboard. Whatever. So yeah, fucking globalism, man. I've always been an Elon Musk fan. I like Tesla. I like the idea. I like SpaceX. I like that idea. I think he's doing really important work. I also really appreciate every bit of the theatrics involved when it came to the purchase of Twitter, because it was theatrical gold, right? It did. It kind of,
It was the biggest thing on the internet and on the news.
yeah.
Since COVID, really,
Yeah.
like when the whole Twitter purchase dropped,
44
even the idea
billion.
of it, even the idea of the Twitter purchase
Yeah.
dropped. The day Elon Musk said something about it, it became top topic. Right? Is that how you say that? Hey, it doesn't matter. It became the talk, water cooler talk. It became bathroom talk, fucking locker room talk. It was the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Everybody was talking about Elon Musk is going to buy Twitter.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, that took
dude. Yeah.
8-9 months, right? Something
Yeah.
like that to actually finalize the deal.
Mhm.
And he ended up getting it for cheaper than what he said he would buy it for. So congratulations on that deal. Good job. But expecting him to choose someone like, I don't know, Dan Bongino
Yeah.
or
Well,
I don't know, Sarah Huckabee for fucking whatever, you know,
Yeah.
expecting him to pick someone like that as a CEO for Twitter, we automatically knew that was never going to be a thing.
Mm-mm. And but here's the thing. So, and that's what a lot of people were talking about, right? They're like the 10% of the far left and the 10% of the far right are equally as mad about this chick because and for those who don't know, Linda Yaccarino.
Yes.
Okay. Linda Yaccarino. That's who Elon Musk just chose as the new CEO of Twitter. So that's who we're referencing right now. So she not only is chairperson at the World Economic Forum, she had been hired by Trump to head like the sports division of something federally, but besides the point. So now
she was a Trump admin.
Yes, she was.
She was in the Trump administration,
and this is why
while he was in office,
the 10% of the left
is
are
freaking out about
super pissed. And then you have the 10% of the right who's like World Economic Forum bullshit, right?
Yeah.
So, but I think where their mistake is it's not 10% of the right. It's anyone who knows what the World Economic Forum is, man. If you know what they are, to me, they are essentially NWO. They are the New World Order, one government to rule the world, influence every country. They are the global leaders, as they say, global. They're globalists, every one of them. They are globalist. They have an agenda. The agenda is written on their websites, constantly updated. They are a new world order type of Davos group, right?
Well, they are the Davos group.
Yes.
Like it's the same thing.
It is the
World
same thing.
Economic Forum and Davos are the same.
They're the same thing. Yes. And what I mean is they're a new world order type of group.
I see what you're saying.
They're like a one government to rule them all, because if you take the president of Canada and the president of here and you take all these global leaders, put them in one place and decide how the world should be run, you are essentially a pseudo NWO at that point, right? And that's how I see it. I'm not a globalist. I am not for globalism. I hate that shit. There's only one way globalism works, and it's like communism. You can't be a globalist and say free speech when I think we are the only country that actually has like free speech enshrined in our Constitution as the First Amendment. Freedom of speech, you have it in other countries to a degree, but then in other countries, it is like you do not have the freedom to say shit about the government. Go to China and start going online and bashing Xi Jinping, and you're going to see how far that shit gets you, right?
Prison.
Yes. So how can you be for globalism and then things that are inherently against globalism or doesn't work? It doesn't work, right? So
because there are people in the world that exist that don't have actual moral values or a moral compass in any way, shape, or form, and they will do and say whatever makes them money.
And this is exactly where I see Linda Yaccarino. Yes, that is that chick hardcore.
She will in one hand tell you to mask up.
Yes.
And take your vaccine.
Yes.
And wash your fucking hands and make a creepy little video of you washing your hands.
Yes.
And then in the same breath, men don't belong in women's sports.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes money.
Yes.
She'll make money off the right. She'll make money off the left.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to her because she doesn't have a moral compass.
Right.
She doesn't have standards, and she doesn't have a...
Oh, it's funny to me that there was people out here when I went on Twitter yesterday and just
a purpose. Like she doesn't have a purpose.
No, her purpose
other than to make money.
Is to make money. Yeah, that's what she does. That's what she does.
She wants to be an elitist. She wants to be as rich as she can absolutely fucking be.
Yep.
At the end of the day, she's going to say whatever it does, whatever writes her the check.
Yes. That's who she is. It's so funny, man. People were like, well, give her a chance. She worked for Trump. I said, Dr. Fauci worked for Trump. How you feel about him?
That entire Elon Musk interview with her on that stage was her propagating to the left. Because the left is so furious at what Elon Musk has done with Twitter and allowing just like open-handed free speech.
Yep.
Right? She turned that into a inquisition into, are you going to stop doing all these weird things?
Yep.
Are you going to stop tweeting at 3 a.m.? Are you going to give me the authority to do what I need to do to make money for Twitter?
And
because at the end of the day, that's what Elon Musk wants.
Yes.
Is money for Twitter.
Of course.
Because advertisers have bounced from Twitter.
Yep.
Because of free speech. They don't like free speech.
No, that's it. That's exactly the reason. They're pissed off because in this day and age, advertiser-friendly content equals woke propaganda bullshit that most people just don't fucking agree with. And that's how I feel. I mean, we just saw a few companies have major issues over woke propaganda bullshit that most people don't agree with. Elon Musk comes in, he does this, advertisers bounce. And I'm thinking, okay, here's how Elon's going to make money. He says, we're going to do this Twitter Blue. Through Twitter Blue, not only are you going to have individual subscriptions, you're going to have like corporation subscriptions and organizations. Yeah. So like Tim Pool mentioned, he has his organization It's quite a bit of money, actually. It's a lot more than like the individual. It's like
It's like $1,000.
I think it's $1,000 a month.
It is.
That's pretty stout when you've got, hundreds or thousands of corporations who are opting into this, right?
Did we just play footsies?
No,
we didn't. Okay.
No, my feet are under
We're
here.
good.
You're good.
I'm sorry to derail that, dude.
I'm still straight.
I touched something down here and I was like, oh.
Watch it.
Okay, this is weird.
Watch it.
But yeah, no, at the end of the day, these advertisers don't want to hear Donald Trump on there screaming about rigged elections, and they don't want to hear Dan Bongino on there talking about kids, males in women's sports. They don't want to hear that shit because it doesn't align with their economic credit score.
Yes.
It doesn't align with the things that they have to promote so that they have a good ESG score with China, and that China funds them.
And here's the thing, like just to align these things in parallel, that we're talking about ESG, we're talking about this person, Linda Yaccarino, right? She is on video many times espousing ESG, diversity, equity, inclusion, DEI, and all these things that I think personally, we are hella against, right?
Why wouldn't we be?
Yeah. And this is where the concern comes in. This is why you see Elon Musk, you see him hire her, and then you question it. People are just all out fucking dick riders sometimes, and they're like, oh no, it's Elon Musk, it's different. No, you know what that sounds like? I'm getting the same vibe as the communism is different if we do it type of thing. That's exactly what it feels like.
Real communism hasn't been tried.
Right. It's that conversation. So when you hear the kids in college who are like, communism, and they're wearing Che Guevara shirts and shit.
Oh yeah, that
you're
like dictator.
Yeah, you're like,
not a dictator, but he was fucking brutal. Either way.
Yeah. When you're like, yeah, that worked out for Cuba and Russia and China really well, and all these communist places, Venezuela. Yes, exactly.
Millions
it
of people
worked,
murdered.
It worked great for Ukraine back then. Awesome. Communism sucks. And they're like, well, that wasn't real communism. It would be different if we do it. It's that same conversation.
I want just one of them to explain to me what would be different here under that implementation versus the way it was under Stalin and Lenin.
Well, because
and fucking Hitler and explain to me what the difference is now.
The difference is everybody thinks that they are so smart that if they personally did it, that they would do it better. When it's just a fucking fallacy.
The end result of communism, of socialism, the end result is always corruption. Mm-hmm. It always will be, because giving one person absolute power will always absolutely corrupt.
Exactly. I believe that wholeheartedly, man.
There's no way around it. You can't even argue that it doesn't, because you have at least, at the bare minimum, and I couldn't tell you exactly how many there are, at least 10 examples.
Yeah.
10 examples through history of that exact moment where you watch the corruption happen. You watch the dictatorial rise and the fall of actual, everybody gets a little bit of everything.
Yep.
No, you know what the best system ever made was? Constitutional Republic.
Yeah.
Because it allowed you to make your decisions.
Yeah, for sure.
In the way you felt were necessary for you and your family. It allowed me to make my decisions in the way that I felt necessary for me and my family. It allows everybody the same opportunity. Here's the problem. People don't like the opportunity if it doesn't have the same outcome as yours.
Yes.
If you do better than the other person, now they're mad and they want communism.
Yeah, it's not fair.
The fucking problem with that is, we give you communism, you take power, and then you oppress us.
Yes.
Here's the difference with constitutional republics, i.e. the United States of America. We give you the opportunity, and that opportunity allows you the freedom to do with it as you will.
Yeah.
It is wholly based on the choices you make.
Yeah.
And if you make poor decisions, you End result is a shit poor fucking life.
It is the epitome of equality.
It is absolute equality because it's the
Here you go.
here's your opportunity.
Yep.
I'm going to give here's $100, Jimmy.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I'm going to give you $100. I'm going to give Joe Schmo $100.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Now you both have the same amount of money.
Yep.
That's your opportunity, right?
Yes.
Joe Schmo goes and buys crack.
Right.
Jimmy turns around, invests the $100 into a really good company. The company skyrockets. Jimmy's now a fucking millionaire.
Yep.
But you both had the same fucking opportunity.
Right.
The problem is the decisions you made.
Well, Joe and his family are now pissed off at me
because you're a millionaire and you didn't help them.
Yep. They want communism.
That's fucking retarded.
Yeah.
That is the absolute definition of retarded.
Yep.
You cannot possibly logically sit there and go, that's how the world works. No, it's not.
So as much as you love communism, I'm just
you.
So yes, wholeheartedly agree with you on that. And this to me is that same conversation applied to Twitter. It's well, I know she's a World Economic Forum chair who is wholeheartely invested in ESG, DEI, which is, you know, your social credit scores and your diversity, equity, inclusion, and all this. But it'll be different this time with them, that type of person in the World Economic Forum, because of
sounds oddly familiar.
It's Elon Musk. And I'm like, dude, if you are the person trying to tell me it's going to be different this time, you're the reason why we're here now. Because at some point there comes a wall where I basically don't trust anything, anyone, any of these people. I don't care like where you go with it. You can, if Elon Musk even hired somebody like Dan Bongino and was like, here, make me money, I would still kind of be like, oh, we're doing ads now. How's that going to work? Because the businesses who want to run ads,
and
you
just,
know, like
so,
where,
to be completely honest, I think you have a better opportunity with Dan Bongino based on his the building of the parallel economy, the thing that we no longer have to submit to the whims of crazy ideologues.
Yeah.
Just so we get paid.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
we can make a decision and go an opposite route and choose to hold on to our values and freedoms.
Yeah.
And still make money based on what Dan Bongino has built.
Well, and the crazy thing is you can make money. Here's the thing, man. You have to make normal shit and free speech fucking cool again. Because make no mistake, advertisers, giant corporations, they don't give a fuck about what the culture is. They don't give a fuck about what skin color you are. They don't care what gender you are. They want to go where they think the culture is. That's who they want to advertise to.
No, dude. That's not even it. You're a dollar amount to them.
That's what I mean.
You're how much are you spending with me? That's
right.
That's all you are. You're a fucking number.
But you have people who belong to companies who just take a quick look at culture. And they go, oh, this is what people want. So
because
this is where
it's gonna ultimately become a dollar amount. They don't even give a fuck about the culture, dude.
No.
All they want you to do is spend money.
Yes. So they're saying our ad has to target what's cool.
And what's cool right now is
this
trans and fucking this.
Yes,
and blah, blah, blah.
yes. So advertisers are like, oh, Trump's a racist? Well, we don't want to advertise on a platform where people are pro-Trump. So they pull out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's, man, how do I say that? Like, yeah, these people just don't fucking care about any of the diversity, equity, inclusion. That's where the culture is. So that's what they try to align themselves with.
They actually do care about those things in the sense that it raises their social governance credit score. Okay.
That's the
only reason they care about it, because at the end of the day, it all still boils back to money.
But how much money, like, okay, right now, you've got all of fucking libertarian and right-leaning Twitter being like, dude, and like, I'm this close to canceling the subscription for Twitter Blue.
Sure.
for organizations, for everything, right? Is it worth the risk to lose all that income into Twitter monthly?
I mean, he thinks so, I guess. Like he wouldn't have made this decision if he didn't think. Like, first of all, you got to understand, I don't think that this decision was ever made lightly.
No.
By any means, by any stretch of the imagination, I don't think it was made lightly. I think he picked the person he wanted.
Yeah.
Because globally, he can turn this platform into exactly what he wants it to be. And let's be honest, that does not just include the planet Earth.
Right.
He wants it as a
I would assume it also doesn't just include free speech and America. On a globalist scale, it's
It never
the reason.
did.
It was like Mark Zuckerberg with the whole Facebook thing when it started to go the way it did, and people started to push back. He was like, "Well, I want Facebook in France. I want Facebook in Germany. I want a global company." Well, globalism doesn't align with our values because most of these places are some form of socialist democracy. Communist, they're quasi-fascist fucking dictatorship, socialist. It's like, dude, you have people arguing about China. China's capitalist. They're quasi-fascist capitalist under communism with like capitalism, as long as it's being controlled by government, is fucking fascist. And
it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it is.
So you can't say they're capitalist. They're not capitalist. We're not even capitalist. We have a large portion of capitalism, definitely enshrined with government all over it. Government footprint, right?
Because it's necessary.
To a degree, but we go overboard.
Capitalism in almost like every country is a necessity.
Yeah.
To because if you don't have it, if you don't have it, you don't have an economy.
Right.
Okay.
Well, free market capitalism in the truest sense can work on a small scale the way that, say, socialism.
Communism does,
Communism,
exactly.
Socialism can work on a small scale. But once that scales up to the size of 300 million people,
it's where you start having to have regulations.
You definitely have to have regulations. Yeah, I agree with that, right? But i.e.
monopoly clauses, things like that.
Well, and that's where we have like kind of this quasi monopoly where like I start, okay, COVID lockdowns, right? Everybody has to close down except Walmart. They're closing down people's Etsy stores online, but Amazon's open. So you start to wonder like, this, what's going on here? Why, how come the police are showing up to the people next door to Walmart, but Walmart's open? And then they try to justify
the first year of COVID, roughly 6 people tripled their net worth.
Yeah.
During the first year.
The usual suspects.
Why do you think
Jeff
that is?
Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg,
Elon
Bill
fucking
Gates,
Musk.
Elon Musk. Exactly.
I mean, come on, dude. He doesn't get a free pass.
No, he don't.
Because he likes to be able to say what he wants to say on Twitter.
Yep.
He doesn't get a free pass because he promotes free speech.
So here's
he is an economic globalist.
Yeah.
Who would prefer to continue to have hundreds of billions of dollars in his pocket.
Yeah.
And the only way to keep doing that is to pander to what is coming in the future. Because no one is doing anything to stop it.
So I watched all this shit yesterday, everything that was going on. And I noticed, I'm like, yo, Elon Musk went from a guy who, like, you got the redheaded libertarian, right? This chick named Josie, right? You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
You got Cat Turd, right? Cat Turd is one of the big, almost 2 million followers on Twitter.
For sure.
Super influential Twitter account, right? You've got so many of these accounts that Elon Musk follows and he interacts with like daily, right? So I see he puts out this post that's like, my new CEO, and people just go crazy about it. And I'm like, dude, this is fucking, it's kind of whack. What the fuck you mean World Economic Forum? Like, we know where this goes. And you've got people like Josie questioning that decision. No interaction, right? Elon Musk isn't replying to anybody. He's out here making tweets, but he's not interacting. Like, dude, for all intents, since he's taken over Twitter, he's been shit posting left and right.
Which is really odd that he won't reply to Josie.
Yeah, he kind of went,
but he'll reply to Luke Rutkowski.
Yes.
And it's like,
yeah, I know. He replied to him and he's like, I promise it won't be that. And it's like, no, wait a minute, man. Wait. And I posted a tweet that I was like,
replied to it. I was like, I don't trust you.
Yeah, it's super fucking suspect. It's suspect as fuck, dude. And people are like, no, it's Elon Musk. And I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. What do you mean? Like, you cannot just blindly. This is why we're here now.
But this is the problem. People cannot hold on to one thing, right? You have all these people screaming, oh, the billionaires, right? And then Elon Musk buys Twitter, lightens up the rules a little bit.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, oh, don't pick on Elon.
Yeah. He's one of us. He's a good guy.
Elon. He's one of us. No, he's a fucking billionaire.
Globalist.
He does not fucking care about you.
Yes.
At the end of the day, he does not care about you. What he does care about is getting a rocket to Mars.
Yes.
That's what he cares about.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly doesn't give a fuck about anything else. And Twitter, in and of itself, is his communication platform for that purpose.
Right.
It's not going to be just a global platform. It will be a solar platform. It will be a universal platform at some point.
I mean, we're talking about the guy who wants to put a Neuralink chip in your brain.
That's fun.
So like,
that's fun. I really want to do that so that somebody has the control to flip a switch and shut me the fuck off at any time.
You'll be
because I said the wrong thing.
You'll be Rob GTP, right? Like chat, Rob GTP 44.
Yeah, just.
You'll be Rob Bot.
They were like woke button.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, trans people. Woke. That's
woke
fucking
button.
retarded.
I got a woke button right here.
You do.
Yeah.
No, I think it's like.
I think people are giving him a pass because
it's time to stop giving these people a pass, though.
Yeah. Like, I think the appropriate reaction to all this is, no, I don't fucking trust you. Prove me wrong. I don't trust you. It's like, dude, I got to a point with everyone. I can't believe that somebody who could go through the whole pandemic and whatever the fuck and then be like, well, she worked for Trump.
Who fucking cares?
Yeah, Fauci
she was no good there either.
Trump
hired a lot of really shitty fucking people.
Right. That's my point.
Just because she worked for Trump doesn't make her a fucking saint.
Exactly.
It makes her one of the other horrible people that Trump hired.
And they go, look at her Twitter account. She follows Joe Rogan, Michael Malice, and they list all these like super 10 million plus follower accounts. And I go, it looks like a fucking list of who to follow so you don't look like a fucking woke Democrat.
I'm pretty sure I said that.
Yeah, I think
I'm pretty
did.
sure I replied.
Yeah, I said the same thing.
This is the opposition following you.
Yes.
So that they know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Look, I appreciate her doing that because it's the same thing that the right does. The right knows more about the left and the left knows more about the right.
Yes.
It's always been the thing because we pay attention.
Yes.
We pay attention, we follow.
Yeah.
I want to see what creepy fucking shit you're saying because at the end of the day, I can call you out about it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when we see each other person to person, I can look at you and go, you are a solid piece of shit.
Yeah. No, it's like the Libs at TikTok account, right? It's the epitome of that. This person has a multi-million person following, right? And they are basically a mirror of what the left is doing. They only take this woke crazy shit and then mirror it to a different community. They say, okay, this is how these people feel on the left, but the left knows that. Let's show it to this side. And then the left freaks out. Libs at TikTok should be banned. Why? They didn't do anything. They took your content, showed it to a large group of people over here. Why are you mad about that? That's all Libs at TikTok is.
Because it opened people's eyes.
Right. But that's why it goes back to, like you saying, we know more about them because we pay attention.
Yes,
they only pay attention to them.
This lady uses the right's tactics.
Yeah. Yes.
Possibly because I'm not dogging her.
Right.
I'm dogging the fact that she made choices, like out loud choices. via talking about masking and talking about washing your hands and
diversity,
and
dude.
being on the World
Come on,
Economic
man.
Forum and talking about the things that she has talked about openly, right?
Like,
those are the things that I'm dogging her about.
yeah.
Her as a human being, as a person,
Mhm.
she may,
Mhm.
we don't know yet. She may be the person to run Twitter properly.
I have a healthy fear of somebody who could come out in
Listen, it's 11:20.
a
I've been waiting.
oh that
I've been trying to be responsible.
the fucking Blanton's coming out.
buddy. That's only
Hit me with some of that, man.
it's only 93,
So-
so you're good.
So one of the big things that stuck out to me is how she's out in the open and says, I run the biggest news marketing agency. It will be 50% women, 50% people of color. When you decide that that is the way to run a business, you fail,
I'm with you,
period.
dog. I'm with you.
I've always looked at every business like this. I need you
Cheers.
to be the best person for the job.
Yeah.
It's identity politics, right? Whenever you're like, well, they have to be women. Well, what if those 50% of women are just shitty fucking people who cannot do the job? Well, it doesn't matter because they're women. Well, that's why we're in a place now where businesses are having a really fucking hard time with marketing because they think to do accurate marketing and acceptable marketing that they need diversity. Well, diversity has now become a room full of the same fucking people. That's what in my mind, diversity is like, okay, I need a white dude from, fucking middle America, and I need this black dude from college. And
But white people aren't included in that, dude.
Hell, white dudes.
White men are not included in that.
Diversity is for Harvard graduated women. That is diversity.
Mhm.
As long as they're different colors. If
Exactly.
you have a black one, a white one, a Hispanic one, and an Asian one, it's fine because that's diversity.
That's diversity.
It's legit the opposite of fucking diversity. Because there's a few companies right now who could probably use a healthy fucking dose of old Rob going, yeah, no, that's wrong. This is not going to make you money.
Give it to me.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
give it to me.
dude, I've said it. I'm like, this is where these people are
Give it to me.
failing is that
like
they're-
they're all fucking idiots.
they're being indoctrinated in these colleges and then they're being hired into these media and marketing agencies and firms, and they're all the same fucking people and they're all screaming diversity, yet they're all the same fucking people and they're not representing 90% of middle America.
because they don't
You
care
and
about
me.
90% of middle America.
Well, because our voice isn't heard. They look on Twitter and they go, okay, this is what it is. And they look at Hollywood and they go, yep, it mirrors it perfectly. So this is the culture. Meanwhile, a farmer, mind you, middle America, the guy who's pouring concrete, he ain't on Twitter talking about nothing. The guy working at the city, he's not on Twitter. He don't see none of this shit. But he is questioning why all his products are gay or fucking whatever.
Mhm.
And he's like, wait a minute, why is my Gillette razor commercial telling me that men suck?
Mhm. Yeah.
I've been using Gillette since I was a kid.
Why is Coca-Cola telling me to be less white?
Yeah. When did
How the fuck do I even be less white?
right? And how is that okay now? It's acceptable. That's not
It's pretty
racism.
fucking racist.
Yeah, no.
to be honest with
it's-
you.
it's the opposite of racism, apparently.
But that's the thing, though. I'm so sick and tired of hearing the opposite of racism when it comes to these things. Because if you changed white to black and said that same fucking thing,
So good.
I promise you this.
It's racism.
It's racism. So why is it not racism when you say it about white people?
It's crazy too because I don't know where people's brain went whenever you go, if a white guy says, I don't like black people, that's racist. Right?
Sure.
We can agree with that.
Yeah.
That is racist.
Yeah.
I don't like black people, that's racist. If a black person says, I don't like white people, that's not racist?
No, it is.
It is.
It
but-
is. I'm not
how do
playing in
we-
a fairy tale world anymore.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
How did we get to a place where it's that's acceptable as
Because these people live in a world where there are 87,000 genders
yeah,
and
it's
and,
complete
and,
fallacy,
and
man.
white men are
Yeah.
the fucking devil.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day,
You're demonizing 80% of the population at this point. Like 80% of the fucking population.
at the end of the day, if
At
you
least
keep
40.
screaming white men are the devil and white men are the problem, good luck surviving the next,
Yeah.
I don't know, 100 years.
Have you seen the color of the leaders of the World Economic Forum? You know who they are? Do you know who Joe Biden is?
All white.
All white men.
All white men, and you're all screaming.
Old white men.
Fucking, that's the problem. Old white men.
Yeah.
Old white men are the fucking problem.
Yeah,
not,
I think
not me.
Yeah.
Not me, not Jimmy.
No.
I mean, we got gray beards, but we're not the fucking problem.
No, I can agree with these
I grew up in a
people
time.
on this.
I grew up, and you grew up in the same time. I
Yeah.
grew up in a time where color didn't fucking matter.
Mm-mm.
We did not give a fuck, dude. White, black, gray, green, blue, fucking yellow. You could have been from fucking Mars, and we'd have still fucking hung.
Yo,
because it didn't fucking matter to us.
you know how many
And
people
somewhere
I fucking
along-
smoked weed with back then? Come on,
All
man.
of them.
Everyone.
Dude, somewhere
That's what it
along the
was.
way in the mid 2000s, there was this switch flipped where it was like, fucking white people are the devil.
No, dude.
And I was like, what?
oh, I got you. Here you go.
They blame it
For
on
me?
police brutality.
No,
right?
watch, dude. You're gonna probably love this, and I have to send you this video. My fucking man, Clint Russell, pulled one on me. He fucking puts out a video. It's only like 15 minutes. Dude, that video is probably one of the most insightful and best videos I have seen because this guy lays it out. Now, for me personally, I've always wondered. I was like, yo, ever since Obama, it seems like we went down that path. It was that point. It was at that point, right?
It was.
When we went down that path of like Black Lives Matter, racism,
Yeah.
police brutality, black people.
It was
all
when
this.
Obama
like-
took office.
Yes. So Clint Russell puts out this video and he goes, you know, I've always questioned when this happened too. And I was looking into the Obama administration and whatnot. And I'm going to totally butcher and fuck this up. But during the Obama administration, he put in a law that required not only federal companies, but like federal contractors to like install and initiate diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Yeah.
And it became like a rule in federal government,
Mhm.
right? And I forget what it's called. It's something modernization bill, something like this, right?
Okay.
And I'll link it.
Yeah.
It so people could look at it. And I'll put Clint Russell's video in there so people could look at that because, dude, it just hit me because I'm like, he goes, I've always looked at this time frame and it seemed like around 2011 to 2013.
Yeah, it was
where-
08.
Well, for me, I noticed it 2012 when the Trayvon Martin thing happened. That they were like, this guy is a white supremacist. And I'm like,
Dude, he's Mexican.
he's Mexican, though. I don't think that's how
But
that
his last
works.
name's Zimmerman. Well, that's German. So
Yeah.
what do you want?
And I'm like, I don't think that's how it works. And it was the first time I really paid attention to the flip of a narrative
Mhm.
where they were like, this poor little kid. And they showed the photos of him when he was like 7.
A sweet 7-year-old little
Yeah.
boy. Yeah.
And then they show
But
Zimmerman.
they excluded all of the photos
Yes.
of him being a little thug.
Yeah.
And I say thug because that's what he was doing.
Yeah. The shit he was doing. And when the
Smoking weed and
dude, he
I don't want to
was,
say things without saying them, but I'm pretty sure there was a gun in one of them.
yeah. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he attacked Zimmerman first.
Yeah. That was how that all came out.
He
yes.
had him on the ground. He was banging his head against the concrete and everything. And this
Zimmerman
is,
even said it. He said, I thought I was going to die.
yeah, this is 10, 11 years ago. It's hard to recall exact, instances of what happened. But I remember seeing the official news narrative and I was like, yo, that's fucked up. And then over time, when you really got what really happened and people started putting out like, hey, look, Trayvon Martin. And you go, yeah, that's Trayvon Martin. And they're like, this is what he looked like. Really what he looked like. And then you're like, oh, well, what about the one where he's holding a football? And they're like, yeah, that was like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, nobody wants anybody to lose their life. But
No,
at
it's
the
a
end of the
tragedy.
day, you very much have to tell the story as accurately as possible, or you're not journalism, you're fucking propaganda. And that for me was my first breaking point of I'm being like propagandized by not only
But it's also a
mainstream
moral
media
upbringing problem.
and
Like, yeah, we can call it propaganda all day long,
but by
it's
the
also-
government.
It's not just the government.
No, what
It's-
I'm saying is, look, that was my first recall of being like, okay, the media is wholeheartedly lying to me.
Yeah.
And then the government stepping in and saying, no, they're not. You're a fucking racist
Yeah.
if you think so.
No, I get what you're saying.
And I was like, oh shit. Because before that, like Bush, I was more worried about like war and shit,
Yeah.
right? This wasn't like
A war we
domestic.
did not need to be involved in.
Right.
Yeah.
It went from terrorism to domestic terrorism.
Mhm.
And now if you question media, you're a white supremacist.
Yeah.
And if you question the Trayvon Martin narrative, you're a racist.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is our government? But it just crept up and got worse to right now.
Yeah.
And when I watched this video that Clint put out, and he kind of dialed in these different laws Obama put in,
Mhm.
it really hit like, oh, I'm not imagining this. This really did start at this time frame.
Of course.
And there's a very specific reason why it did.
Oh, you can watch it start.
Yeah.
You can watch it from start to today. You can see it all happen. But those things are also part of things that I continually say to you on this podcast,
Yeah.
to everyone. It is a moral upbringing and how you raise your children.
What is?
The you see these problems with like the Trayvon Martin part,
Yes.
like where
Yeah.
he's attacking this adult.
Yeah.
Who the fuck like you at his age,
Yeah.
would you have ever turned on an adult?
No.
Because you were told not to, right?
Yeah.
No matter what happened.
Yeah, of course. I mean, for all intents, I was kind of a punk ass kid, but my version of punk ass kid was like skating around town, smoking weed with my friends and shit. We didn't do anything hella illegal.
But
we
if if the cops approached you, you stopped, you talked to them, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You
And they did.
You took it for whatever it was.
Yeah, they did. That cops
Same
fucked
thing
with
with-
us all the time back
Same
then.
thing with an adult. If you're just running around the neighborhood and you're causing trouble, and an adult comes out, starts yelling at you, you go, "Sorry about that. My apologies. We were just having fun." Right? That's the moral upbringing that I'm talking about, dude. We don't teach our kids these things anymore. I say we don't. I teach my kids this shit.
You mean
'Cause
as a
fuck that.
society?
As a society,
Yeah.
we don't teach our kids this shit.
Yeah.
And now we have a
Totally.
bunch of punk bitch fucking, I will fight every fucking kid around here.
Yeah.
Running the fuck around,
Yeah.
trying to tell me that they know better.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, I was your age one time. Albeit a long time ago, but I was your fucking age.
Yeah.
I know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
And you're up to fucking no good, and you need to fucking square it away.
Yeah, for sure.
Instead, they want to attack somebody. Instead, they want to claim, oh, whatever, right? It's a problem
Yeah.
that can only be fixed, firstly, in the household.
Yep.
Secondly, out in public.
Yep.
Thirdly, by our government leaving us all the fuck alone.
And online social media platforms, which brings me back to the topic about the advertiser friendly content being swayed in one direction. It's
Great
not
band,
good,
by
man.
the way.
Huh?
Nothing.
Great. What? I'm confused, man.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, no.
Somebody else will catch it.
Yep. No, I caught it. I got it. Just took me a while. I'm fucking stupid sometimes. That Blanton's is some good shit, though.
It is.
Holy shit.
How the fuck? You know what?
That is tasty.
I've got something for you
Okay.
that from here on out, I'm going to bring it. I'll bring it next time because I forgot it this time. But it's what you're going to drink from here on out on the podcast because
Okay.
you complained about getting drunk so early. Like now you're talking, oh, this Blanton's really good. I missed a joke.
That's just good.
So from here on out, you get canned whiskey water. It comes in a can. It's only 4% alcohol. There's
You
zero
say-
possibility that you can get shit-faced within an hour.
You say canned whiskey water.
Yeah. Whiskey and water in a can. I'll even chill it for you.
Oh, fuck, man.
Yeah, dude.
No,
Yeah.
not my thing.
It's going to be delicious.
No.
I don't think
Now,
it is.
I think you're going to have to bring the Blantons every time. And when we run out
I
of
need to
that
buy
one,
more.
you need another one.
Yeah.
So Blantons every time.
Blanton's every time.
That should be their motto. It's
It
like their
should be.
slogan.
You're welcome. Pay me.
We'll run your fucking company right. But see, it's what happens when, so like you were saying, man, yeah, I agree totally with what you're saying. And even in the realm of like social media, where you go on social media and people like, Vijagade and Jack Dorsey, how they decided Twitter 1.0 was going to be run, it swayed people's perception. If you're a kid, right? Let's say you're 16
Uh-huh.
and you're wholly allowed on Twitter and you've got that and you see, you're like, man, white people suck. They're white supremacists. Alex Jones and all these, crazy people are banned on Twitter because they're just the scum of the earth. And then, you're being force fed Black Lives Matter narratives because, that's the thing. Your perception of reality is highly skewed.
It is.
It really is, because they're feeding you a narrative. It's not presenting you with, okay, there's this side's argument and then there's this side's argument, and you decide what you feel is the truth or the right thing to do. They say, we have this side and we have this side. We feel that this side is right, so we're going to delete these people off the platform so you only see this side, and we're going to force feed this echo chamber to you all day. And then you raise a generation of kids who look up to Black Lives Matter, for all intents in my mind, should be a domestic terrorist organization. If you go around burning shit to the ground, starting riots, fires, you are a domestic terrorist organization to me. BLM is solely
Day one they were.
that.
Yeah.
Right? But if you're a child, you don't have perspective to look at these things from subjective
Yes.
viewpoint. You're being force-fed a narrative and then being told by the grown-ups in the room, this is the right thing, right? So what do you do? You have Elon Musk come in and say, no, that's inaccurate. You need both sides of the story to be able to differentiate for yourself what you feel like is the truth, but you have to hear both sides. It's kind of like a judge and a jury, right?
But are we going to get both sides now?
That's where I was going with it, is then you see what they hire, and this woman is praising. This is what kills me too. It's not only diversity, equity, and inclusion. This woman legitimately looked at Elon Musk in the face and said that the Twitter 1.0 Content Moderation Council was highly respected and loved. Then why the fuck are we even here at Twitter 2.0? If that was truly the case.
Yeah. We didn't need to change anything, right?
Yeah, of course not. Apparently. I mean, it was going so well.
It was going so well that Elon or Alex Jones,
Donald Trump,
Milo Yiannopoulos, Donald Trump, they deleted a sitting president's voice from the internet
and kept the Taliban.
What's the other guy? I can't even remember what he's called.
I don't know who.
He's a prominent figure in the Muslim religions. But he was the imam, right? Imam? I don't know. And he was left on Twitter to death to Americans, death to the United States, like just straight up calling for violence against our own country on a platform that was built in this country. And Donald Trump was pulled off the website, off the platform.
Oh yeah.
Alex Jones was pulled off the platform. Milo Yiannopoulos was pulled off the platform.
Nick Fuentes
was pulled off the platform. I think Nick Fuentes is a little cringy, but
for sure, but
still gets a voice.
Yes, everyone has to have a voice.
You cannot turn something into what is essentially the public town hall in this country, and then go, but you can't fucking be in here. You can't fucking be in here.
Yeah.
That is illegal in this country.
And that's
because you are denying someone their right to free speech.
Yes.
You are denying someone the ability to say what they're allowed to say.
Yeah.
Per our Constitution.
Exactly.
Vijigade, whatever her fucking name is,
Yeah.
is the most evil person I have ever had the fucking displeasure of witnessing.
Oh.
Jack Dorsey's just a moron.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think he was ever smart enough. Like, he came up with a really good idea.
He's like a stupid fucking hippie who created this thing.
Here's Twitter. This is really cool. And then all of these fucking demonic, evil people walked in and were like, watch what we do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The worst of the worst. The absolute worst of the worst.
Yeah.
And now you bring another one in.
Yep. And go, it's going to be different this time.
See, it's like communism, right?
A little. Yeah.
It's like
different.
Well, we really haven't tried. We haven't tried real Twitter. Like that Twitter was fake.
Yeah, that Twitter.
Like that Twitter wasn't real Twitter.
It'll be different.
This is going to be real Twitter.
And this chick legitimately goes, Elon, when you stand on this stage right now, will you commit to bringing back the content moderation council that was so loved and respected from Twitter 1.0? And then tell me it's going to be different? Get the fuck out of here, bro.
It's insane.
And then people come on my page and they go, you have no right to criticize him. He's been really, really vocal about how imperative free speech is going to be for the past 2 months. And I'm like,
yet here you are exercising your right to free speech.
Yes.
And they're like, you can't do that.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, you people are the
fucking
reason
hypocrites.
why. Yeah, you're the reason why Twitter 1.0 even existed as long as it did, because you're like, well, let's see where it goes. It's going to be different.
It won't be different.
And then they delete Donald Trump and you're like, well, he must have deserved it. What? And then you go on their page and they're conservative. And you're like, who are you?
The Adam Kinzinger
like some
conservative.
Yes.
They're an Adam Kinzinger conservative. They're what's the chick? What's her name?
The chick.
It's Bush's vice president's daughter.
Liz Cheney.
Yeah, Liz Cheney.
Yeah.
That hoe.
Yeah.
That's the type of conservative they are.
Republicans against Trump. I go, Republicans against Trump. You mean Democrats?
Exactly.
Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
No actual Republican. No one with actual Republican conservative values. No conservative is like, I'm against Trump.
Yeah. No.
The ones who do are not actual conservatives. They're not actual Republicans. They're Democrats.
And you got people like me who I wholeheartedly think we should always call out anything that he does that's dumb as fuck, right? Because then it lets him know we are not the monolithic thought pattern people who go, Trump over everything. He can do no wrong. Because that's what they do with Biden.
They're like, town hall was glorious.
Oh my God, dude.
It was so good. So good to the point where CNN panicked and shut it off 20 minutes early.
Yep. Not only
How about that?
Is it funny
when floundering fucking company, a company that is flopping around on the ground like a fish out of water, literally had one of the best things that ever happened to them.
Yeah.
Donald Trump at a town hall meeting with a stupid fucking moron moderating it, right?
Yep.
And they shut it down 20 minutes early.
No, you know what?
Let that shit ride.
Yeah.
Dig herself a grave and then fire her.
I love that Stephen King comes out and he tweets this thing and he's like, did Donald Trump only request his supporters to be in this town hall? And I retweeted it and I was like, that face you make when you realize you're the one in the cult and not everyone agrees with you.
Exactly. But hold on. That's the thing about town halls. If a Republican holds a town hall, Democrats aren't showing up because it's more or less a rally for them, right?
Yeah.
If a Democrat holds a town hall, Republicans aren't fucking showing up.
Right.
What you have showing up are undecided voters.
Yes.
And for lack of a better term, disaffected moderates and independents, right?
Centrist.
The ones who don't know what they're going to do, right?
Yeah.
Those are the people who show up because they want questions answered, right?
Yeah.
And then through the whole fucking thing, this lady cannot shut the fuck up for 5 minutes about January 6th and rigging elections.
Yeah.
And then they turn around and go, why did Donald Trump talk about rigging elections the whole time? Because that bitch kept talking about it.
Yeah.
She kept bringing it up and she egged it on.
Yeah. For sure.
It's fucking insane to me.
I know.
That people just, they walk around like this and they're like, this is all I see. This is it. There's nothing else in the world. Just what's right in front of you, fucking moron.
And the left and the right do that shit. There's people on the right that does that shit.
Yes.
Everybody does it. That's
Everybody
what's
does it. Like,
that's what's kind of disheartening. Like you have to
even
live.
people who are awake.
The reason I say like just because you're a fucking Republican doesn't mean you shouldn't question Trump, because when you just start going Republican, you end up with the Liz Cheney.
Yes. Yes. Even the people who are moderately awake and have taken off their blinders still in some instances put those blinders on because they don't want to see the other shit.
Right.
It's selective for the most part, but with those people. But the people who just continually walk around with blinders on don't understand how the real world works, like Stephen King.
Right.
Well, did he just invite his friends?
Yeah.
No, you fucking idiot. That's who showed up to this bitch because that's who wanted questions answered.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I think that he expected the whole crowd to boo every time. That's like,
if it were people, if Donald Trump was the person who solely invited every person in that audience, it would not have been anybody that was sitting in that audience in reality.
Right.
It would have been Melania and Jack Posobiec and like it would have been people like DC Drano.
Yes.
Those people would have been the ones invited. Not fucking common towners.
Right. Yep.
He didn't invite them. CNN fucking invited them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the moron on stage just progressively made it worse. And I guarantee you there was some producer in her fucking ear going, keep pushing it.
Yeah.
Keep pushing it.
Yeah,
keep pushing
for sure.
It. And then when the crowd more or less turned on CNN, they were like, fucking stop.
Oh, yeah.
And then ultimately they had to shut it down because they were like, this isn't going well for us.
But you know, that's the fucked up thing about where we are too. And that just goes to show you, like, it's the same thing as them removing Donald Trump's Twitter account. It's completely silencing the freedom of speech. It's we don't like you. We don't like what you have to say. So we're just going to shut it down. Yep. That's so communist, man. It's communist. We don't like what you have to say. So we're not only
dictatorial.
We're
I don't know that it's communist. It's dictatorial. It's authoritarian.
Authoritarianism.
It's we're better than you. We know we're the moral majority and we know what's right for everyone else. We're not going to give anybody else the choice because we know what's right.
It's the same shit the fucking communists do, though. And then they try to imprison them.
Yes.
Like, come on. They're
okay. But let's be honest. Even in that journey of communism, it turns into authoritarianism. It turns into dictatorships.
Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't always, it never stays communist.
Yeah.
Like they'll still use the flag of communism.
Yeah.
But at its very core, it's dictatorial. It's
well, and that's why I said, like, you look at, you know, I think China, they're like quasi-fascist in the way that their corporate and government do business, because people are like, well, they're kind of capitalist. Well, they've introduced capitalism
into communism,
which I think that's like fascism to a degree. Like that's what
it is. Yes, it is.
Like
it's when when corporations and the state become the same. That is fascism.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's the actual definition.
Yeah, I think it is. So, like, but there's a lot more involved in the way that they do authoritarianism. I think is like a good blanket statement for places like China.
So, I want a quick segue here. Have you been watching what's going on at our border right now?
Oh yeah.
So, Title 42 expired last night at midnight. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, it was.
We've had thousands, tens of thousands of people just bum rushing the borders.
Yeah.
Right. Did you hear the part about the? Here's what's funny. When I think of all of this going on down at the southern border, I go, that's a lot of Venezuelans, a lot of Mexicans, a lot of
Haitians.
Well, no, not even Haitians, because let's be honest,
they counted. They said there was thousands of Haitians.
Here it gets better.
Yeah,
thousands of Chinese nationals.
Yep. Chinese too.
Where the fuck are they coming from?
China.
Well, clearly. Jesus, fuck me. You know, that was a stupid question, and I appreciate you answering it in that fashion. That was dumb of me to even say. But seriously, like, why are they coming in the southern border?
Why are they here? Why are they coming through? Here? Yes, yeah, we know why.
It's very questionable.
Mm-hmm.
It's with this happening at the border.
Yeah.
And then you see China land grabbing in our own country, which, by the way, should not even be legal.
So let me interject with this. I think the most questionable thing that I've seen in this country, and I've read some articles about it, and I've seen FBI statements about it. The most questionable thing that I've ever seen in this country was the fact that China was apparently setting up police departments in our country.
They found one in Miami.
They have them all over the world because the people who put this article out in the very beginning, months and months ago that I first read about it, before it was news.
Doesn't that seem weird?
These people are like, I don't know, they might be from Sweden or something. The original people who ran the original article. And they went down this thing about, China doing this in the US. And they said, it's not just the US.
It's all over the world.
It's all over the world.
Yeah.
They're setting up police departments. They have no correlation or connection to any United States law enforcement.
Do you know why?
Huh.
Because they're only policing
the Chinese.
The Chinese in this country.
Yeah. So they say, right? That's all they're doing.
Even the ones that are natural citizens of this country.
Yes.
Even the ones that are natural citizens of this country, they're policing them as well. How fucking insane is that?
That is the most questionable thing I have heard ever, I think.
I'm pretty sure it was in Miami. They found one. And the FDLE had to come in and shut it down.
Yep. The FBI made a statement. Chris Wray came out.
Fuck Chris Wray.
Yeah. And that's the thing. This dude makes a statement. It's really questionable why the Chinese government has set up independent
because you fucking allowed them.
Yes. I'm like, well, you're the FBI. I mean, you might want to take a break from arresting parents at school board meetings and classifying them as domestic terrorists and actually do your fucking job.
Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Mm-hmm.
What's the middle part?
Bureau.
What's the end part?
Investigation.
What are they supposed to do?
Federally investigate.
Do your fucking job.
Yeah, crimes or potential crimes or...
It's insane to me that the FBI is no longer an apparatus of investigation.
Yeah. No.
More so, they're an apparatus of entrapment.
Yeah.
And plots against governors and presidential campaigns and
dude.
Yeah, it's quite insane.
So
I
can't.
What are we looking at on time?
We're getting close, I think.
Okay. I was just curious because I didn't set a timer.
Hold on.
I don't like the FBI. I think the FBI and the ATF and the IRS should all be dissolved, abolished, gone, by. They serve zero purpose in this modern world.
Yeah.
Because they have become nothing more than the authoritarian arm.
Kyle Seraphin, ex-FBI.
Yes.
Okay.
I know this name.
Yep. He was just on Timcast. He was just on Timcast a couple days ago.
Oh, yes. I love that fucking episode. It was good. Sorry.
He was also on Speak for Yourself podcast the day before.
Okay.
I watched it. This guy has quit the FBI. He was for all intents, he was kind of fired being a whistleblower and shit. But he went down and explained the pathway that happened within federal government going from terrorism, international terrorism, to domestic terrorism.
Yeah.
And by all intents, in his accounts, the FBI's job now is to classify domestic terrorism in the United States.
Why'd you pronounce it like that?
I don't know. That was fucking odd, but I appreciate the comment. So
no, you didn't. You're mad at me now.
No, that shit pissed me off. Don't fucking call me out on my own podcast. You son of a bitch. Yeah, man. Feed me liquor, then make fun of me.
Domestic authoritarian. The fuck?
It's America. I can do what I want. So anyway, Kyle Seraphin, man, dude, I would be so interested to talk to this fucking guy because he seems like such a down to earth person, and he has his own podcast now.
Okay.
He speaks out against the FBI. I'm pretty sure he's on a couple lists.
Dude, he's a whistleblower. He's on lists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was like, man, I was in it and I saw where they put forward these like rules and regulations that said we're not going to go after certain people.
Yeah.
And legitimately went after certain people. He's like, we were looking at people who are parents in the whole situation that we saw come out last year about, or maybe 2 years ago, parents going to these school board meetings and just losing their fucking shit about what was going on.
You're talking about the domestic terrorists.
Yeah. The white supremacists who were concerned that their young children were being taught gender
call them
identity
what they are, buddy.
and fucking racist.
Domestic terrorists.
Yeah.
They were.
But
how dare you be concerned with
for a guy
welfare?
like that dude has some fucking balls, dude, to be calling that out.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. He seems like a very good guy.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how the FBI, like internally, he's like, man, look, out of like 50% of the FBI, the women, he's like, these women I was around in the FBI in Quantico, almost all of them either left their husband to go there or cheated on their husband when they were there.
Yeah.
What kind of people do you have to be? Like, do you think these people give a fuck about the average person of the United States of America when they're fucking over their own family and their husbands and their lives like this?
No.
Like the average American person, you don't have to look them in the eye.
Yeah.
You know, so if you could do that to your husband, he was like, dude, these chicks were straight up sleeping with some other FBI agents while they're married. And he's like, I legitimately was like, I don't want shit to do with these people. I don't want to talk to you. We are not friends. Don't call me. Yeah. Like he put a good picture on the internal workings of Quantico. You know, it was super interesting, and it just gives you. They're just people, and
they call Quantico the farm, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. Do you think that these two little retards on Twitter screaming about how Joe Biden's the best thing in the world?
Oh, yeah.
And that everybody should vote for him in 2024 and how the Republicans are just the worst things.
Yeah.
That looks like the face of Quantico. That looks like the new faces of the farm.
Yeah.
It looks like they look like operatives.
Dude, the best thing in the world.
They look like people who were like, I'm going to be an FBI agent. Graduated high school, and they were like, I got a job for you, buddy.
Dude, shout out to fucking Tim Dillon, man.
Yeah, what he got? What do you have going on?
Tim Dillon is the one that did the podcast that they went on that.
Oh, legit, yes. And he was like, oh, don't post that.
Yeah, he was like, Democrats do stupid shit all the time and they're bad at their fucking jobs, but I'm going to vote for them every time anyways, because if not, if I say something, I'm losing hella followers. And Tim Dillon's like, hey, that's good. Can we clip that? And he's like, no, don't clip it. Meanwhile, the other kids over there just shocked. Like,
how the fuck did you just say that out loud?
Oh my God, you just said that shit out loud on a fucking Tim Dillon podcast. No, you fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked me up. Yeah. You just fucked everything
I wholeheartedly believe they're operatives.
Oh,
I think they're paid by 100%. The state. I think they
belong to a media company that is funded by the DNC. The DNC gives them money to a media agency. This media agency is they're contracted under this media agency. Yeah. So when people came out and was like, they're operatives,
FBI, they're CIA.
Yeah, it's like money goes to one place, then another place, then another place, then them. So they're like, we're not paid by the DNC. I mean, technically.
Listen, I don't care how many shells you put on it.
Yes.
That shit's still the DNC.
Yeah.
It does not matter how many shell corporations you go through.
Right.
The money will always follow back.
Yes.
It's the same thing that's happening with Joe Biden right now.
Yep.
The MTG and
Shell company receiving money from China.
No.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, Marjorie Taylor. Did you see all that stuff with Marjorie Taylor Greene?
What stuff?
All the things that they connected physically from
Yeah,
the
all
CCP,
all the family
through
members.
X amount of shore companies,
Yeah,
or shell companies,
that's what I'm talking about.
straight to Joe. Fuck the family, to Joe Biden.
Dude, it was Joe Biden, Hunter Biden. It was Hunter.
His brother.
Yep, Jim.
Jim Biden.
Who else?
there was
9
There
members.
were grandkids involved in it.
9 members.
Grandkids.
Yep.
Grandkids receiving payments from the CCP. That's some sketchy fucking shit, and it needs to be questioned. At this point,
Yeah.
I'm not understanding why nothing's being done about it.
That's my problem with the right. That is my problem right now with the Republicans.
MTG's calling it out. She's doing Twitter posts. She's doing Instagram posts.
Where's Massey?
Where's
Gates? Where's Byron Donalds? Where are the people who get together?
They're not on that committee.
Do they need to be on that committee to?
I don't know. I think the committee is the one that has to bring the charges. When the committee finds it, again, I'm an idiot. I don't know these things. I'm just assuming that the committee, the reason Byron Donalds, the reason Matt Gaetz are not doing these things, they're not the ones calling for it, is because they're not part of that committee. That being said, MTG kind of separated herself from the Freedom Caucus when she did the Kevin McCarthy thing.
Right.
And they were like, all right, dude, you do your own thing.
My problem with this whole thing, it pisses me off more than it makes me excited about it, is that I don't want to hear about it if you're not going to do anything. I watched Donald Trump get impeached twice over Russia collusion. Shit that was completely made up. It was completely false. They had zero evidence. They went through the Mueller report. They went through all this fuckery to impeach him. They literally brought those impeachment papers on him for zero evidence of anything. They fucking made it up. And then you have half of the right who comes out and says, we have evidence, like actual evidence, that Joe Biden is taking foreign payments through shell companies, zero like notes on these bank documents that specifically say what these payments are for. You're talking about Hunter Biden getting $1.6 million from China, and it says zero about why.
Yeah.
Right? If you're not going to do anything, I don't want to hear about it, because it just makes me mad. It just pisses me off so bad that I have to unfollow you now, because every tweet is, we have evidence on Joe Biden.
Yeah.
And then they show the evidence and I go, okay, cool. So what's going to happen? And then the next tweet is, we have more evidence. And then the next one is this. And the next one is that. And I'm going, dude, but if you're not going to do anything about it, like, I don't care.
It's very similar.
You're not solving the problem.
It's very similar to we have a whole bunch of evidence that the election was rigged.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And
we have more evidence that the election is rigged.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. We're going to show you the evidence of how the election was rigged.
Vote for us.
Where's the evidence?
Yeah.
We've never seen it.
Right.
We've never seen it. That's why I cannot, I cannot wholeheartedly sit behind anybody that's like, the election was rigged. They stole it from us. Okay, cool. All right. I get your point. I get your point. You're angry about it. Here's the problem. They didn't rig the election.
Right.
They stole it.
Cheating.
Legally.
Right.
They cheated.
Legally.
They legally cheated.
Yeah.
And they told you how they did it. The New York Times article detailed exactly how they fucking did it. And they did it legally. And they fucked every single one of you. Yeah. Every fucking one. That's the same thing. Is what I'm getting at.
It's the same thing. And the thing is, if you don't prove it, like people like me, I look at all this and they say the election was rigged. The election was stolen. How can we hold fair elections? And how can we do this and that and this and that and this and that, right? And then they pull this shit with Biden and then they're like, vote for us. And I go, why would I vote for you if the elections aren't secure? Is it even worth my time at this point? Like, why would I?
No, so here's
why
the
would
thing.
I vote?
The elections.
When you've told me yourself that you think that the elections are rigged anyways.
So a lot of them are not screaming about rigged elections.
Right.
What they are screaming about is ballot harvesting,
But if
like voter in the park type shit.
But if they're not going to play by the same rules, then what does it matter?
That's the thing. We are.
What's that fucking ding sound?
That's
you?
That's my stupid phone.
Okay, no, you're good. I'm like, man, what the fuck's going on here?
Is it time? No,
yes,
it's my watch. My watch doesn't shut up.
All right, you're good.
There are people like Scott Pressler out there that are wholeheartedly, they're teaching people, this is what we need to do because it's what they did.
Yeah.
They went out, they ballot harvested, they did voter in the park type shit. They did everything that they could do to gain as many votes as they could, regardless of whether anybody legitimately knew what they were doing when they filled it out.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
No.
When it's filled out and signed, it's a vote, bro.
Yep.
It's a vote no matter what. So guess what? Now we're going to play that same game. And I'm wholeheartedly 100% behind it.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, I've actually thought about going out like and being a part of this because I don't know how to do it. I got to figure out who I need to approach to do this.
Yeah.
But I will drive to every fucking farm within a 3-county goddamn radius.
Right.
I will drive to every fucking farm and I will pick up every ballot they have.
Go downtown here.
If I'm allowed to.
And be like, hey, man, I'll buy you guys breakfast if you come vote with me.
Yeah. Straight up. Let's go to Faded, buddy. I'm going to spend 3 G's on this bitch.
Right.
Let's go get votes.
Yeah.
I'm done with it. I'm done. Play the same fucking game.
Mm-hmm.
Play the game that they play because otherwise we are just going to lose still.
Well, this brings me back to the Twitter thing real quick.
You're beating a dead horse at this point.
It's play the same game mentality.
I get you.
Is where I'm at.
Yeah.
Is they want me to trust this chick.
Yeah.
No, I'm playing the same game. She belongs to this corporation. She belongs to this entity, the World Economic Forum, that believes what they believe, cannot change my mind.
No.
They're globalist. They're woke as fuck.
We
they
need
want you.
a great reset.
Bro, you will own nothing and be happy, and you'll eat bugs and you'll fucking thank us later when you don't own a home or a car and you live in the pod.
You live in the pods.
Yeah. Fuck you. Fuck your fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
I do not trust this woman. I do not trust Elon Musk anymore. You just fucked up with me. And that's how I feel. It's playing the same
do you
game.
Still carry your blue check?
Do you remember? I do right now, but
are you still going to?
I don't know. So look,
I'm on the same fence.
Yes. So look, in the original podcast episode number 1, me and you did. We started the podcast, and I said the Dylan Mulvaney, the Matt Walsh thing. Okay, is it the accurate way to go about things because you're not gonna change their mind?
Careful, man. Those are trigger words.
And you replied, you're not gonna change their mind, right?
You're not gonna change their minds.
I wasn't on Twitter at that time. I had
you had
zero
started,
social media other than Instagram for photography and video. Okay.
Yeah.
So I had zero political
I don't know
social
if
media.
you guys see this frame, but this is all Jimmy and this is what he does. It's fucking beautiful. Made me not look like a fat shit.
So in the very beginning, I didn't realize how fucked up this shit was. As we progressed in the podcast, I'm like, I have to have a Twitter, right? I have to get in the space if we're gonna talk more about what's happening today and yesterday. I can't just see it haphazardly and then comment on it without knowing the full context.
Without knowledge.
Yeah, I have to know the full context of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you can read a headline and go, that's really fucked up.
Yeah.
But if you don't know the whole story, then
I watch other podcasts, but I want to see things as they unfold, and I don't want one side. I want to see what the people are saying on Twitter. And what happened to me is I go, oh, bro, you are really right.
Mm-hmm.
These people, not only are they fucking insane, you can have every factual statement and every argument you want, and they're just going to call you a fascist, a racist. Fuck you.
You're going to tell you
it doesn't matter. So now I'm on the fence of like, okay, so
and they'll even go to the extremes of lying,
or not on the fence, but I'm on the side of, okay, now I just have to be. I can't say in my head this is what I believe, but I have to present it to you softly, so we can have a discussion about it. They don't want to have a discussion. So you have to say, no, yeah.
They just want you to fall in line.
I'm a fascist. Fuck you. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm a free speech, constitutional republic fascist. That's what it is.
It's exactly what it is.
And
you want freedom for everybody, but you're still a fascist.
Yeah, and you can fuck yourself.
How dare you?
You have to be that way, right? So when it was the Elon Musk saying, well, I'm going to have this woman be the CEO, but trust me, it'll be different this time. I'm like, no, you can go fuck yourself. You, her, everybody, because I don't trust you. I'm going to assume the worst first, and you can prove me wrong, and that'll work. That'll be fine, right?
Yeah.
But I assume at this moment, Twitter's going to be fucked, and we'll figure out where to go from there. I'm not going to assume that she's going to all of a sudden change her fucking ways and mind.
Mm-hmm.
No. Right?
Yeah.
You have to look at it that way.
Yep.
You have to play it their rules. So when it goes to the voting thing, it's the same thing. I hate to see the right going, they rigged, they cheated, they ballot harvested, they changed the rules, mail-in voting, and they did all these things. But we're not going to stoop to that level. Well, then you're not going to fucking win.
Exactly.
So
we stoop to that level.
Yeah, you're going to have to play the game, bro.
There are more people on this path than anybody really realizes.
Yeah.
When you look at what Scott Pressler's doing, he excites people about these things,
right?
In a way that I've never really seen anybody else do. So I'm fairly hopeful that like we're gonna do some really really hardcore fucking getting come 2024. And we'll see. Yeah. We will see.
Hopefully.
But
I hope so.
Yeah, let's everybody, thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitter. I'm at You've Been Robbed.
MPTV Jimmy.
And you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple,
Google,
here on YouTube.
Google Podcasts.
Yeah. So we thank you, and everybody have a good day.
Yep.